Good afternoon, sports fans. PBnZ coming at you live today on the first day of training camp and day one, game one of the Sox-Yankees. And PB, you got some good news for us right off the bat, right?
Oh yeah, we got 7-0 right now, bottom of the first.
7-0 against the Yankees. I can't believe it. Ho! All right, hey, as always, we got a local one going on. We got the Wally. We don't know it's named after the Green Monster or the Wally the Monster, but from Wachusett out in Westminster, the Wally. This is a nice taste of beer. If you haven't had it, it is sweet. 7.0 if you want a quick buzz. All right. Hey, 2-minute update this week. We'll go through. We'll talk a little bit about the Sox, Yankees, and, of course, Major League Baseball's trading deadline is Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe, correct?
31st,
Wednesday,
yep.
31st. We'll go through that. And this week's episode is going to be the list episode. We're going to talk about 3 lists that came out this week on Pro Football Focus. Top 10 quarterbacks, top 10 running backs, and top 10 wide receiver. We get some dissension here on the studio.
We're gonna rip that thing up.
All right, so let's get right into it. Hey, by the way, training camp started for a lot of teams besides the Pats. We just heard the news breaking tonight. Zeke Elliott from the Cowboys did not show up on the team plane as they headed to their training camp in Oxnard, California, so we presume he's holding out. And Michael Thomas, wide receiver, which you'll hear a little more about from PB, from the New Orleans Saints, is a no-show down in New Orleans. All right, let's get right into it. Hey, 2-minute update. Last week we talked about the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. And by the way, the city of Houston at the Astros game this past Monday celebrated that 50th anniversary. They had none other than Rick Armstrong, the son of Neil Armstrong. He threw out the first pitch. And by the way, if you didn't see it, I saw it. He threw a forkball with a 90-degree drop right in there, lower half, the bottom corner of the strike zone for a strike. It looked great for a 50-something-year-old guy. Hey, by the way, interesting thing happened that night. I got to read this to you. I was freaked out by this a little bit. All right. In the game, there was 11 Ks by Garrett Cole of the Astros. It was also Garrett Cole's 11th win. Get the theme here, Apollo 11?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the Astros scored 11 runs on their 11th batter of the 3rd inning, which happened to be the 11th hit of the game to score that 11th run. Is that a coincidence, you think, PB?
It's a strange coincidence.
It's a little bit eerie.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of eerie things, by the way, I just heard Mark the Butt Fumble Sanchez retired yesterday after 10 years in the NFL. I didn't even know he was still playing. Did you know?
No.
I can't remember the last time he was on a team,
he
right?
Second or third string.
Unbelievable.
And then news today, Troy Tulowitzki.
Troy Tulowitzki, a pretty good ball player.
The former Rocky, now Yankee, also announced his retirement.
Wow, okay. Hey, by the way, yesterday, 7/24, a lot of weird stuff. It was the 15th anniversary of a famous brawl, speaking of the Red Sox-Yankees. Who was that, PB?
Oh, that was the Jason Varitek A-Rod brawl. That was a classic.
That was a very good brawl. You are right. By the way, it was also J-Lo's 50th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, J-Lo. What an anniversary for you. Hey, also, by the way, it was the 36th anniversary of another famous scene, a guy going berserk. George Brett, the famous Pine Tar game,
oh, yeah,
right?
That was great.
He went nuts. Billy Martin called him out on the Pine Tar. He got thrown out.
Yeah.
They protested the game. By the way, it's one of the only 3 protested games that actually was
overturned.
Yeah, correct. They ended up having to play that game again afterwards.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And speaking of protests, what did we just see yesterday in Toronto? In Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that was a poop show, huh?
Dude, does anybody really understand what they were protesting there?
Yeah, they were protesting the lineup because of the move of the pitcher over to first base, which means you don't have to take the pitcher out.
Right.
Then they
bring another pitcher in the
theoretically
pitch.
means you lose the DH, and
Correct.
then they had to bring that. Then they brought that pitcher back to the mound.
Right.
So where it wasn't more about that than it was where the players actually fall into the
illegal
lineup.
substitution, I think.
And they said today that they're not expecting anything out of it.
I'll tell you what. Here's where Cole blew
bed.
that. He should have let the DH from Tampa bat and then protested, right? Because then he could have said something, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
man.
point. Good point.
All right. Hey, all right, moving on. I got to bring this one up to you. I saw this yesterday in the news. The most valuable sports teams in the world today, according to Forbes magazine, came out. You're going to love this list, PB. Cowboys, number one in $5 billion.
Doesn't surprise me with Jerry Jones on that team.
Yankees second at $4 billion.
Okay,
and here we go. We get into what I know you appreciate. Real Madrid.
Okay.
Soccer, is that correct?
Yeah, I would think.
4.2.
Me and you's got to be in there too, right?
Coming up, they're third. Barcelona at $4 billion was fourth.
Okay.
Followed by, hold on to your hat. This is, given tonight we're playing the Yankees, I can't even believe this. The Knicks are fifth.
Wow.
The Knicks are worth $4 billion. But you know what? Given where they are, the real estate of owning Madison Square Garden, that's probably $3 billion right there, right? So who knows? Man U, to your point, was sixth at 3.8. Followed by the Pats, just under them. I think Man U was 3.81 to be exact. The Pats were 3.8 over the Lakers. I love to hear it as the Laker world turns at 3.7 billion. The Warriors, I was a little surprised by this. The Warriors were then next at 3.5. So that was kind of high. I mean, they've only been on a run for the last 5 years, but before that they were so-so.
Yeah.
And then this is another one. The Giants are 10th, tied with the Dodgers. I can't even believe that.
Wow.
$3.3 billion.
It's the market. It's the New York market.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I got a little DYK this week. PB, what Major League Baseball team since 1993 do you think had the most batting league champions? Either league.
Oh. I wish we went back to 83. I'd say the Red Sox, because that's when Boggs was the rookie, and I think he won 5 or 6 titles in the 80s.
That would be a fair bet, yeah.
But 93? I'm not sure.
Believe it or not, it was the Colorado Rockies with 11.
Oh,
the Sox were second. They had 5 since 93. The Rockies with 11, huh?
Wow.
And by the way, if you go back further since the 1900s, you're going to have no idea on this one. Who do you think it is all time since the 1900s?
The Twins?
The Twinkies? No, sorry.
Okay. I don't know.
I was shocked by this one. It's the Tigers.
Oh.
Who drove that, do you think?
Ty Cobb, maybe?
Oh, Ty Cobb. Yes. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, hey, you know what's interesting about the Rockies is that...
Yeah, you got a little fact about that, right?
Well, they've won 11 in 26 years. That's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
I know it's a hitter's ballpark, but still...
It is a hitter's ballpark.
Well, I mean, it's a hitter's ballpark. It's got thin
You told
air.
me you hit one out one year.
But here's the interesting thing. That was by 9 different guys winning those 11 titles. The only one that actually won multiple times and won 3 times was Larry Walker.
Wow, okay.
But then you have the likes of like Andres Galarraga, you had Todd Helton in the mix.
Todd Helton, yeah.
You had a pair of twins, Michael Kadaya and Justin Morneau. A lot of people don't even know that he played for the Rockies.
Kadaya, I mean, Justin Morneau was a great hitter.
Yeah.
I remember he went
there. But they both went to the Rockies, yep. More recently, you had Charlie Blackmon.
Last year.
You had DJ Mateo, who now plays for the Yankees, and he's batting .336 with the Yankees, so he's right there in the top of the American League right now.
I'm surprised by that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, some interesting players there that pulled off titles. Carlos Gonzalez is another one. Todd Helton. You also had Matt Holliday one year.
Matt Holliday. Yeah, he was a good hitter, too.
And then in this year, if you look at the top 10 hitters in the National League, you got Charlie Blackmon right there at number 5. And then you have Nolan Arenado sitting at number 8. So
all right.
They could get another one this year. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move into our agenda. Sox Yankees in the critical game tonight, 4-game series tonight, I should say. Sox, I was about to wear my suit and tie tonight for the wait because they're only 7-6 since the break.
They've been a big tease. They just keep teasing you, right? They dropped 2 out of 3 to Baltimore. They win the first 2 against Tampa. Then you had that debacle game yesterday. Now here they are, 7 runs in the bottom of the first against the Yankees. I mean, they're a seesaw.
It's unbelievable. So as we head into the the trading deadline period, right, on next Wednesday, right, the 31st?
Yep.
I mean, so the Red Sox are supposedly going to be buyers, even at this point in time, being 7-6. We talked about it last week. If they were like 1-9, they might not be.
Right.
7-6, okay. So they're going to make a deal. I mean, we made one deal. The kid from Baltimore, right? Cashner. Yep. Hasn't panned out yet. He's given up, 37 runs or something like that? No, I digress, but it's been a lot.
Yeah.
But the other team, as you and I were talking about this before the game started tonight, we looked at the pitching lineups for the next 4 days. The Yankees don't really have an impressive pitching lineup. They have to make a deal. Do you agree?
I think they need another starter if they want to go all the way because they're going to run into a team that gets hot.
Yeah.
With good staff, and they could go down. In
theory, I don't think it's going to happen, but the Sox starters are better than on paper. when they play their best. They could beat them in a series.
Yeah.
And of course, Houston has 3 great starters.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland, as you said last week, who might surprise everybody and come up and win that division.
Right.
They got
which is the reason why they're probably going to hold on to Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, now, right?
I think you got to. You got to hold on to him. You can't let him go. I have some.
What do you got?
Agree and disagree.
Let's talk about it. What do you
did
got?
this with me last time with the hoops, right?
Let's give it. Let's go.
So Indians deal Bauer. That's my first one. Agree or disagree?
You know what? I actually think they will look and listen because they don't want to pay him $20 million.
All right. Okay. How about the Padres dealing their closer, Kirby Yates? They're 3 games back in the wild card right now.
I would say this: the Padres. No, I disagree. They trade him because they signed Manny Machado for the long haul, and they get rid of that kid. Then they got to find a closer again next year.
Okay. Another one. The Nationals or the Dodgers make a big deal for a lefty reliever, probably a setup type guy.
Yes and yes. Agree.
Okay. Marcus Stroman gets traded from the Blue Jays.
Oh, that's the easiest one here.
Okay.
To agree.
That's agree. And then what about Mike Minor for the Rangers? He get traded?
The Rangers have no shot, so in theory he should, but I have a funny feeling they won't get rid of him.
All right.
So I disagree.
Okay. And then finally, Arizona deals Robbie Ray to the Yankees. That could be the guy you're looking at, Robbie Ray.
The Yankees have so much minor league talent right now, so many young players. I'd have to say they agree they do it because they have the ability to do it. If they need a pitcher, they're going to make that happen. So I agree.
Okay. Good.
Let me ask you a question. Is Porcello gone? That's the rumor for the. So the rumor is the Sox will still probably get rid of Porcello and maybe Brock Holt.
I don't know. I think they should. I think they should stand pat right now. I mean, they got cash now. I think they need to play out this. It's hard because right now
they tease us once again. It's 7-0. They keep teasing us, right?
Yeah.
And Brock Holt. What's the little stat you have for the fans out there about Brock Holt since Memorial Day?
If
Brock Holt, leading batter.
He's the leading. Yeah, he's the leading batter in the American League.
I did not know that.
I don't know if it's Memorial Day, but somewhere
around that time frame, right?
Yeah, I know. So he could go in a deal. I'm just thinking of Porcello. Like if he blows the 7-0 lead for some reason tonight, yeah, he's probably gonna get traded.
Hey, the guy you didn't mention, I'm surprised, is Madison Bumgarner. That was the other big
he's another
right?
big name out there, yeah.
But the Giants have suddenly made a run.
Right, they're a couple games out of the wild card too, so it's tough. It's tough when you're teetering. Like that's what makes it challenging.
When you tease your fans,
when
right?
When you're in that 2-3 games outside that wild card, which is why the wild card is such a great thing in the league this year because it keeps so many teams questioning whether or not they can get there, and it changes.
I mean, right now, with the 6 teams in the American League in the wild card hunt,
and there's more in the National League.
Yeah,
you see the National League, there's like 7 teams within like 3 games of each other.
All right.
So.
All right. Let's move on. Let's get into our list episode. This is a good one, folks. Pro Football Focus came out with their top 10 list this week. We're going to start right out with the premier player in the game, which is the quarterback position. Get a hold of this. All right. Number 1, Tom Brady. Whoa, go figure. Followed by Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Luck out at Indianapolis, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Big Ben, who we talked about last week, Phillip Rivers, and Baker Mayfield. PB.
Yeah.
Who shouldn't be there?
Yeah, I'm taking Big Ben right out of that equation.
Big Ben's
wait.
out.
Let me preface this first by saying we're talking about who I want on my team in 2019 to win a freaking Super Bowl.
Okay.
Right? Is that what we're talking about?
We can call.
We're not talking about stats. We're not talking about.
Well, I think the list is best on who you think is the best quarterbacks, and stats has to factor into that.
Okay. I can put stats in.
But if you say that, if you say stats versus wins, I think there's 2 different categories. Brady's my number 1 for wins. He's not my number 1 for stats.
Okay, all right. I'm fine with that. But we're not looking at any historical performances.
No.
We're not looking at the future. We're looking at right now.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm taking Big Ben out.
Okay.
I'm taking Big Ben out, and I'm taking Baker Mayfield out. I just don't think he's had enough experience.
I love Baker, man. He's an Oklahoma guy, but you're right. He's too young.
And so my order, Brady,
Yeah.
number one. Mahomes, number two. I'm going to
Okay.
put Mahomes ahead of Breeze.
All right.
As I am with Luck. I'm going to put Luck number 3.
Okay.
Breeze at 4. Rodgers at 5. Rivers at 6. Matt Ryan at 7.
Okay.
Russell Wilson at 8. And then I'm bringing in 2 guys. I'm going to bring in Deshaun Watson at number 9. And I know those guys also knew like Mayfield, but I think he's got more around him right now to do better than the Browns. Is Mitch Trubisky? He's going to be my number 10. That's a surprise for some people. But
well, let's call him by his correct name before he yells at us when he hears this episode. Mitchell Trubisky, as he likes to be called. Mitchell Trubisky.
And there's no N in his name. It's Trubisky.
Trubisky. I'm sorry. There you go.
So I got his first name. You got his last name hacked.
So let me ask you a question, because here's the glaring misses here, right? Where's the guy that just got the richest contract for a quarterback this past spring?
Wentz he's a clown.
He got the richest contract ever for a quarterback.
He doesn't deserve to be in the top half of the league. He hasn't done anything. As a matter of fact, the team does better when he's not playing.
Yes!
Come on.
Hey, Philly fans, yes! He's not the answer. By the way, the guy that's better than him that should be in this list, potentially,
It's Foles.
Foles or Dak Prescott.
Dak, okay.
You know who I thought was another obvious miss, but I would not put him in the top 10 of my list? Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's
got so much talent with a shoulder injury. Right.
That's going to be tough.
And for you New York fans, where's your boy Eli and his 2 Super Bowl titles? No go. I don't even have him in my top 20. Do you have him in your top 20?
He's not in my top 30.
He's not even in the top 30.
He's not in my top 32. Because they should be starting Daniel Jones.
I love it. All right. So your top 10. I like it. All right. The only thing I would disagree, where'd you have Brady again?
I had him number 1.
Yeah, Brady. He's definitely now a system quarterback. I hate to say it. I know he won 6 titles. Yes, I get it, fans. But talent-wise, I'm with your. Would you have Mahomes third?
Second.
Yeah. And then he was followed by Luck, right?
Ben Breeze.
Would you have Rodgers?
5th.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I would probably have Brady 5th. I'd have every one of those guys moved up 1.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Talk to you in February.
Well, as you said, if it's based on wins, you're right. Running backs. Now, this list was completely nuts. All right. Hold on, fans. I'm really reading the right list here. Trust me, by according to Pro Football Focus. I know it's not correct, as you all know, because you're smart like we are. Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, not bad. Christian McCaffrey, a little high. Melvin Gordon, very high. Todd Gurley, okay. Kareem Hunt, he's going to miss 6 games. Aaron Jones from Green Bay. Zeke Elliott, 8th. He's been leading rush in the NFL 2 out of 3 years. Tariq Cohen from the Bears. And then James White, we love him, but top 10?
Not top 10, no.
Dude, what? Whoa, hold on. What do you think about this list?
You got to take Aaron Jones, Cohen, and James White right out of that list.
And James, we love you, man. You might be 15th, but you're not top 10.
And then I'm going to insert David Johnson.
David Johnson, oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm inserting David Johnson. I'm inserting
the fantasy leader.
I got Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, that's not a bad one.
I got Leonard Fournette is my 3 replacements for those guys.
So you're hooked on Fournette, even though Jacksonville apparently is not.
Yeah, I got him. And then the other another surprise that's not on that list, it'd be right on the cusp for me, would be Dante Freeman from the Falcons.
That's a good one.
And then the other one that's missing from there, and also from my list, but I have him on the cusp as well, is Le'Veon Bell.
I was just about to ask you, where's Le'Veon?
Yeah. And if Gordon doesn't play, which he might not, if he's holdout, he might be this year's Le'Veon. Then you got to, if I had to replace him with someone, I'd maybe put Freeman or Bell into that top 10 as well.
The one that stood out to me was Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones and then Tariq Cohen. Because Tariq Cohen, I know his teammate's gone, but last year Jordan Howard was a better running back.
Yeah.
That one just blew. And Aaron Jones, I mean, how many times did he carry the ball for Green Bay last year?
He shouldn't be in that list.
That's just out of the blue. Would you agree?
I agree 100%. And my number 1, by the way, is Saquon. I think Saquon's going to be number 1 back. And I have number 2, same division, who you mentioned at number 8 or whatever on that list, is Zeke. Zeke should be number 2.
I flip him. I got Zeke number 1 until he gets out.
And you got Saquon too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely.
All
right. Moving on.
Wide receivers.
We got wide receivers next. So this list is not as bad, but we definitely have some question marks.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins 1, Julio Jones 2, Michael Thomas from New Orleans 3rd. Then you got Odell, you got AB, Keenan Allen from the Chargers, Adam Thielen from the Vikings, Mike Evans down in Tampa Bay, AJ Green, and Devontae Adams. Whoa.
Wow, that's an interesting list.
It's an interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you know what? The three guys. I know you're a big Thomas fan. I'm not, but Hopkins, Julio. I might flip those. Odell and AB in the top 5. I could definitely see that. After that, it goes haywire in my mind.
Yeah, it does. I got those 4 guys I got off this list. I got Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen,
Out of here! Out of here!
Mike Evans, and AJ Green. I got all 4 of them out.
All right.
And I also got
AJ and Mike Evans.
And I got
okay.
Devontae Adams coming from number 10 on that list all the way up to number 2.
So you like Devontae a lot?
All the way to number 2.
You're sold on him.
I'm sold on him. Yeah, Devontae Adams number 2 for me. Number 1, Michael Thomas. Number 2, I got Devontae Adams. Number 3, I got DeAndre. Number 4 is OBJ. 5 is Julio Jones. And then I have some interesting new additions here that weren't on this list. Number 6, I have Tyreek Hill. Number 7,
I could see Tyreek.
I got T.Y. Hilton.
Whoa!
Number
You got some
8,
stretches here, dude. You got some stretches.
Number 8, I got Juju.
I can see 8's stretch a little bit. I can see him 10.
I got AB at number 9.
Below Juju.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I got AB at 9, and then my number 10, another new entry into the list here is Amari Cooper.
Okay.
That's my top 10 right now.
Wow. Julio is number 1 for me. You just can't. The guy's so physical. I will say this about Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams. Their ability is based on their quarterback only. You put them on a subpar quarterback. Look at Mike Evans. He's playing with, Jameis Winston, for Christ's sakes. You put Mike Evans with
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, exactly. You put Mike Evans with Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. The guy's a Hall of Famer, for Christ's sakes. Same thing with AJ Green. He plays with Dalton, Andy Redheaded Dalton. Sorry, Redheads, but I'm not a fan of Opie. Sorry. But hey, sorry, PB. But hey, what about this one? If you have Adam Thielen on the list over Julian Edelman, you are smoking crack. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, Edelman's definitely top 15.
After the Super Bowl, people started talking about him about being a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame! He's not even in the top 10. I don't get it.
Well, he's not in my top 10 or your top 10 either, so you do get it.
I do have it. He would have been 10. He would have been 10.
He would have been 10?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'd
have him
he
around
replaces
15.
Thielen for me.
Okay, I'd have him around 15.
All right. Okay. All right. Fans, I hope you appreciated our conversation on our top 10 list this week. Next week, we'll have another interesting episode as all the training camps are all opened up at that point, Tom. So it'll be a lot of NFL talk going forward. We'll have a recap on what happened on the trading deadline on Wednesday night. And it may be a wake. We'll see for the Red Sox next Saturday when we get back together. PB, any last parting shots?
No, just thank you, fans. Continue to watch our show, and we'll see you in a week.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.